Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, I got a pretty interesting one for you, and the topic is Kyrie Irving being unfairly targeted by the media? So that's the topic I'm going to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. So I've been following the media over the last few days now. And we're all aware that the NBA season is right around the corner, literally right around the corner. Training camp is about to start, and I believe in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, right? Something I'm very excited about. But I have noticed, however, that there's some people in the media that have been coming after Kyrie Irving, right? They've been coming after this guy. And my only question is why? Like, if you think about it, we don't even have a season. This guy is just there minding his business, going about his business. I haven't heard anything that he's been doing. And for some reason, people have been mentioning Kyrie Irving's name in the media. And recently, Kyrie Irving and Nick Wright had a spat. They had a back and forth on the internet. And before that, we did a video where we were discussing the idea of Nick Wright proposing a trade between the Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers, in which he suggested that both teams should swap out Ben Simmons in exchange for Kyrie Irving. And I came out and I gave my thoughts on that. But apparently it's been going on. So recently they had a back and forth that I'm going to read to you. And I'm reading this from the New York Post. So essentially this is what happened. Nick Wright posted this on September 15th. He said, "There's a handful of Kyrie trades that potentially make sense for the Nets. Kyrie's agents have made it known that Kyrie would simply retire from the NBA if Brooklyn were to trade him." And then Kyrie Irving got wind of that post or that tweet. Then he responded with a GIF or whatever it is, or some video, and where you had the hands playing with the puppet, and he wrote a puppet, right? And then that's what he responded to him with a GIF. And then Nick Wright saw that and he responded with, "Kyrie, if you're saying you didn't say you retire if you were traded, then your beef is with your representation, not with me, because you and I both know that's what I've been told by people around you," or whatever it is, right? So that's what Nick Wright said to Kyrie Irving. And now all of a sudden, other people out there in the media beginning to chime in on this notion or this idea or this proposal that, would it be a good idea for the Brooklyn Nets to trade for Ben Simmons in order to get rid of Kyrie Irving? And people are doing all of these different things. First of all, here's why here are the reasons why I think Nick Wright is doing this. Number one, I believe that Nick Wright, he's a troll. Nick Wright is a flat out troll. He's a troll in a suit with a straight face. The moment I knew Nick Wright was a troll, I believe it was in 2016 when he made his debut on Undisputed alongside Chris Carter at that time. And I think LeBron had just won the NBA championship alongside Kyrie Irving with the Cleveland Cavaliers. He went on that show and he said with a straight face that he believes that LeBron James is not only better than Michael Jordan, but he's past Michael Jordan. And it was at that exact moment that I knew that this guy was a complete troll. Because anyone that thinks that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan is either a troll and it's just simply seeking attention, or they simply don't know what they're talking about. Because I think only trolls say that. They say stupid things to get attention, and I think that's the reason he did that. I think the second reason he's going after Kyrie or him and Kyrie having this back and forth is because I think Nick Wright is trying to diminish Kyrie's public image. He's trying to diminish Kyrie in the eyes of the public, right? I think he's trying to make Kyrie seem as if he's not really that dude. He's not really a great player. That's the reason why he would suggest such a stupid, idiotic trade between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets, that they would swap out Kyrie Irving for Ben Simmons. Who in their right basketball mind thinks that these two people are even on the same level? Kyrie Irving is in a different stratosphere all by himself. Last season, he just had a 50, 40, 90 season. What exactly are we discussing here? What are we discussing? So for somebody to suggest such a trade, my question is, what basketball sense are you trying to make? The fact of the matter is this: the Brooklyn Nets are the best team in the NBA. And if you try to remove Kyrie Irving and swap him out with a Ben Simmons, you're trying to weaken the Brooklyn Nets. Plain and simple. That trade makes absolutely no sense for the Brooklyn Nets. And finally, I think the reason he's trying to do that is to weaken the Brooklyn Nets. I think he's trying to weaken the Brooklyn Nets because he wants the Lakers to win the NBA championship. If you think that Nick Wright honestly wants the Brooklyn Nets to get stronger to beat LeBron James, you're on something else. All of this goes back to LeBron. I said it in a previous video. Some of the LeBron James fanboys, this is what we call them. These are the people that are running around chasing us on Instagram and all over the place. This is what they are. Right? They came, oh, no, this is a good idea. These people don't know what they're talking about, to be quite honest with you. That's the reason he's doing it. There's no other reason that he would suggest such a trade. And I think any GM that would take that call would be that would entertain such a stupid call doesn't deserve to be in this position. This is one of the dumbest trade ideas I have heard in a very long time. And now all of a sudden, Kyrie Irving is being targeted. Now he seems to be the talk of the town. And this guy literally just goes about his business and does great things for people in the world. Kyrie Irving is doing some amazing things for poor people and less fortunate people around the world. He really is. And for somebody that's not perfect, like all of us, none of us are perfect here. None of us are perfect. All of us have our shortcomings. But for people to make it up in their minds that they want to go after the good people and leave the clowns by the wayside, that makes no sense to me. Like, what would be yes, okay, Kyrie says some things that people, okay, fine, but who doesn't? It's just that his life is under the microscope, or other people are so busy, what is the word? Manufacturing their public image that they make sure every single thing they say or do is perfect. So you really never know who they are. You will never know that they're a stupid person. You'll never know that they can't reason at a high level because everything that they do is so crafted, right? But Kyrie Irving is a normal person that says what he thinks. Sometimes people say smart things. Sometimes people say dumb things. That's human beings. Show me a perfect person. There is no one. And for this guy to be targeted all of a sudden, I think it's just absolutely absurd. He's absurd. He's a hell of a player, a hell of a basketball player. And he hit probably one of the greatest, or if not the greatest single shot in NBA history in the finals. That shot to win that Game 7 against the Golden State, with the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Golden State Warriors. Kyrie Irving hit that shot. All of you haters out there, he did that. Whatever you say about the guy will not change that fact. It will not. It won't. Nick Wright won't change it. All of it does. It's not going to erase the fact that he did that. And I think a lot of people are coming after him. You see all of these bozos coming after him for no good reason. The dude is just there minding his business, living his life. And now people are, would it be? My question is, why? Why are we talking about the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving possibly being traded? How did this even start if it wasn't for Nick Wright? How did it start? Chris Broussard reported that the Brooklyn Nets are practicing in LA, gearing up for the season. So how is it that they're practicing? They publicly admitted that Kevin Durant is the face of the franchise, is the most important person, and he's one of Kyrie Irving's closest friends. We know that Kevin Durant is not going to sit by and allow Kyrie Irving to get traded. So we know all of this, but yet and still we're here talking about possible trade proposals for Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons. What are we doing? Why are we looking for stories at the expense of this guy's character? Why are we doing this at the expense of his character? There are a lot of other NBA players that deserve more criticism. He's not one of them. Whenever he's healthy and he's on the court, he's a hell of a player. Yeah, he goes through things all of us do. And I just think it's absurd that people are coming after this guy. And I think it shows a clear sign of fear for the Brooklyn Nets. This is all what it is. This is pure fear and intimidation. You think they're going to be talking about the Washington Wizards and all of these other teams like this, but no, because they know they're not a threat. The Brooklyn Nets are, and they're the best team in the NBA. They're not my favorite team. None of those players on that team are my favorite player, but you know what? I would actually be happy to see them win. Just to stick it to his detractors makes no sense. Makes no sense. Let the guy live, for God's sakes. I've had some things to say about Kyrie Irving in the past, but we all evolve. I mean, it's absurd. Let the guy live. The guy does fantastic things in this world. Fantastic. And this is the guy. Of all the people, this the dude we're going to come after, what people are coming after. I think is absurd. I think it's absurd. So these are my thoughts and opinions on this. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. But I think this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Catch you guys on the next episode.